Sport must be one of the few career paths where you already know you'll have to pivot to something else around 15 to 20 years in, maybe even a lot sooner. The lifespan of an athlete's career can be very short. You might get injured, you might have to balance an entirely different career path alongside your chosen sport for financial reasons, and you might not even make it where you want to go. And for women, the challenges can be even harder still. So time and time again, athletes are forging another path or supplement their income alongside their sporting pursuits, either to tap into while they're still competing or to act as a backup should they transition into something else after retirement. There are many different ways to do this. Some go back to college, some set up their own business, some work out how to monetize their experience and transfer the skills they learned back into their sport. And increasingly, in today's day and age, some look to social media as another promising opportunity. This is the story of 3 female athletes who know the value of a side hustle outside of the boundaries of the pitch or track. First up, we've Stephanie Zambroni-Roach, former Irish international and professional footballer, current Shamrock Rovers women's coach and owner of Champion Coaching, a coaching company she developed along with her husband Dean, running coaching clinics, camps and group sessions as well as corporate activity days since 2018. Zambra always had an eye on what she would want to do after her retirement from playing days.
I've played professionally for Ireland over probably about a 15 to 20 year period when you include the underage internationals as well. Played professionally in France, Italy, England and America. So I've experienced quite a lot. Obviously the Puskas goal is one of those things that people always remember. It was a great experience for me and my family to be able to go to the Ballon d'Or Awards and to be present in obviously such great company. I knew football wasn't going to last forever. I think particularly because around the Puskas Award, so many things came to me. Like obviously it was crazy around that time. People were coming saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Trying to get me to be brand ambassadors for different things and loads of different things going on. I've been offered different roles in different companies and everything. And like football was all I ever wanted to do. And I never wanted to take a step away from football to do anything else. And even though I probably at times was being pressured by people to, oh, maybe you should start thinking about this because there'd be more money involved in it and different things like that. For me, football was all I ever wanted to do. And the natural progression was always going to be coaching for me. You know, I think I thought about this from an early enough age. I think I went to America coaching when I was in my early 20s. And just in the summer, J1 visa, all that sort of stuff, went over, doing all that sort of thing and loved it. Loved working with kids, loved obviously using the knowledge and the experience that I've learned from playing to coach young kids. So it was something that I felt I'd always fall into.
The question of whether she'd be in a different position should her livelihood have depended on something other than sport may have flashed across her mind at times. But it was never going to be a reality when the couple both have, in her own words, a borderline obsession with the game.
I remember speaking about this before, and then I remember there being a headline that, oh, Stephanie Roach is going to have to retire because she's not earning enough money or something stupid like that. It was turned into something totally different. But my point was that myself and Dean were a young couple trying to buy a house in Ireland, which is, as everybody knows, is not easy. And I remember at the time kind of going like, could I be doing something more where I could be earning more money, you know? And the reality was I definitely could have throughout my career when I was playing football because, as you said, there's not as much money involved. I think it is slowly changing. I think it's great to see more women getting a more livable salary, I suppose, because I know when I was playing even in England there were girls working and playing football, so it's definitely changing.
That's not to say that sport hasn't provided her with some valuable skills.
When you think of sportswomen, I think, like for me throughout my career, there's so many different things, I suppose, perseverance, hard work, dedication, organisation, and they're all things for me to transfer to business. And I suppose the lessons that I've learned through football definitely have helped me be prepared for this sort of stuff, because I think anyone who's ever been involved in business will tell you when you come in, you're thinking, yeah, this is a great idea, it's got to work, it's going to go, and then it doesn't, and you have to keep persevering, you have to keep trying new things, you have to keep changing things to see how it works and suit your audience and stuff like that. So for me, football has helped prepare me for that. It's sometimes you get knocked back, but it's how you react to it and how you kind of overcome it and how you change maybe things around, saying with your game as a footballer, maybe you go into a coach and they're saying, oh, don't have this, but I want you to have that, and you have to go back and learn to do it. And it's exactly the same in coaching, you know, or in business, should I say. Yeah, everything might not always go your way, but it's how you bounce back and how you react to it. And as I said, I think a lot of the things that I've learned through football will definitely help us in business.
Nadia Power is an 800 metre Olympian runner. She also identified sport as having equipped her with the skills for business. with herself and her partner, Dublin hurler James Madden, having founded independent fitness brand Swifter in February 2024. She's familiar with the unpredictability factor that accompanies starting a new business, having worked her way around any obstacles in her path within athletics time and time again.
Like, it is very hard to make a full-time income in Ireland with athletics. There is a good few athletes doing it, and then there's a lot of athletes kind of betting on themselves doing it and probably on about like making 10 or 20 grand a year and just living off their parents and hoping they have their big break and get a good contract. So it's definitely tough for people, for sure, and it's kind of something you have to bet on yourself, or else you have to build yourself a situation where you have an employer or you're self-employed like me, that you can be flexible and still train when you want to train. So I think for me, like, starting that self-employed journey in my mid-20s was based off, I want to be able to train wherever in the world I want at whatever hours, and then work outside of that. And then you have to build it out yourself. To be honest, I'm just not someone who can sit there all day in between training, even though that is a good thing to do when you're a full-time athlete. So I've always been working away. Like, I have my own kind of branding studio as well that I've been doing as a way to have extra income. And for me, like, I think I'm in a really good position when I do eventually retire and fully focus, that I feel like I can carve out a career for myself. I'm hoping it's Swifter, but if it's not, like, I for sure kind of have come on with a lot of skills.
This year, she's taken away out from athletics to fully recover from persistent injury problems. And although she's always been self-employed as an athlete, this venture is providing her the opportunity to expand her skill set and ensure she's set for the future, whatever that might bring.
I wouldn't say starting your own business is the best way to be stable, to be fair. Having a job probably it would be a lot more of a stable way to do things. Having a business is definitely risky, but I think knowing that I've been able to kind of come up with different ways to earn income outside of athletics, because I have been a full-time athlete and then I faced like a lot of, I guess, funding cuts and sponsorship cuts, so I had no choice but to find additional income while still training twice a day and kind of carve out that path for myself. So that started with my own like graphic design, and then I built that into Swifter, so now I kind of feel capable to build that out in other ways.
A community and social media presence like Swifter's is central to the success of any brand, and that can extend to the athletes themselves too. Leinster rugby player Leah Tarkby can speak to that. The 22-year-old has amassed around 24,000 followers and 1.6 million likes across TikTok and Instagram since she started making content at the end of 2023, coming off the back of a year in which she was fully contracted to the IRFU Women's High Performance Programme.
It's like a sneak peek into the life of an athlete and what being a female athlete looks like. Whether it's at the highest level or not. Like, there's things on my page that you can take into your own game, like even if it's preparation for games, if it's a mentality thing. Like, I post a lot of what people actually want to know, like how do you prepare for a game, or how do you do your hair for a game, or how do you do your tan for a game. Like, I have a load of things up that people want to know, and I just want to give everyone like what they want, as in I want, if a girl wants to know how to prepare, or mentally if they have a mental block with anything, like I'm there for that. I want to be that person who can help them through it, because I've been through it and I know how to come out the other side.
Although no longer contracted by the IRFU, Tarkby picked up 5 caps during her professional days and continues to play for her club Railway Union and Province Leinster. During that time, she's also completed a certificate in digital marketing, and she's now currently in the midst of studying to be a PE teacher via blended learning at Portobello Institute. All of this is to say that even at her young age, she's well aware of the advantages of having multiple revenue streams, and is happy to have her social media work as another potential avenue to earn for herself.
I'm making money off, partnering with brands, or like posting content for brands, and like there is good money out there in it. Like, people don't like realize that like content creators can actually make money, and like it's actually a well-paying job. I don't think people see it as a job, like being an influencer, like or content creator. But it is, and you can make good money. There is money to be made out there. So yeah, if I can, work with brands that resonate with me, like that, that I actually want to promote. Like, I will never promote something that I don't agree with, or I don't like, or I don't use. Like, I would never be that person. Like, I always have to try things out before I promote them, like trial them out for like a week or two. And then if I like them, then I'll promote them. But like other than that, I won't be just like posting things just to get money.
Research conducted by EY some years ago found that 94% of women in C-suite positions, that's high-ranking chief roles like chief executive and chief financial officer, have played sports. And having spoken with a few, there's no question as to why that's the case. Sport has equipped these women with leadership skills and resilience, which will no doubt serve them in business, or whatever opportunity they choose to pursue next. This video is part of the Same But Different series, looking at what sets women's sport apart. For more, follow the Irish Independent.